Good morning. Welcome to the next class. Previous class we have to discussed about how to measure buoyancy force and the factors that affecting buoyancy force. I think all of you understand that how to measure buoyancy force. To measure buoyancy force to first of all took the weight of the substance in the air and took the weight of substance in water and minimize that two weight. First of the weight of the substance in air minus weight of the substance in the water. Now we get an answer that is in the term of Newton, and that answer is the buoyancy force that acting on the object that immersed in the fluid. Okay, like that we have to measure the buoyancy force that acting on the subject or object that immersed in water. And then we have to discuss about what is the factors that affecting buoyancy force. There are two factors that affecting the buoyancy force, and based on that we have explained in the previous class. Now we have to discuss about a new topic that is based on buoyancy force, and this one is we can understand this topic through an experiment. Okay. First of all, we have a beaker of water. This beaker or this jar having a small slit in one side of this beaker, and there is a small opening in there. Through this opening, the water is flowing through the small opening. Okay, and these types of jar is known as flowing jar or flowing jar. Okay, that is the beaker having a small slit and water is flowing through that small slit. When water is come to the higher part of the or upper part of the beaker, the water or the fluid that is containing in this beaker is overflowing through this small slit. Okay, and we use this beaker for this experiment. Okay, and we have another small beaker that is used to store the water that overflowing from the first beaker. Okay, when we immersed an object into the fluid that containing in this beaker, in the first beaker, first of all we have to immerse one object into this beaker. This is a stone, and this stone is immersed in this beaker that containing water. Okay, this time some water is overflowing through this slit, and that coming to the another beaker we have to taken here. Okay, first of all this beaker is an empty beaker, and when the stone is dipped in the first beaker, there is some water that is overflowing through this slit to this beaker. Okay, in the second beaker. So first of all we immerse the in the stone into the first beaker, the water overflowing through this slit into this beaker. Okay, when we putting this stone into this beaker, there is an overflowing of water, and that overflowed water is come to the second beaker. Okay, and now we have to measure to two substances, what is the weight of the water that is come into the second beaker and what is the weight of this stone. Okay, when we calculating these two measures, we got what? We got an answer. That answer is the bouncing force. Okay, and first of all we have to measure the weight of the stone in air. First of all we have to measure the weight of the air in stone. Weight of the stone in air. Okay, when we using spring balance to measure this weight of the stone, assume that the weight of the stone is 1 Newton. Okay, the weight of this substance or this stone in air is took as 1 Newton, and the weight of the stone in water, weight of the stone in water is taken as 0.5 Newton. Okay, and we already discussed that how to measure bouncing force. Okay, now we have two things is here to measuring the bouncing force. First one is the weight of the stone in air and the second one is the weight of the stone in water. Now we got these two answers and from this we have to calculate the bouncing force that acting on it. Okay, bouncing force, how to calculate the bouncing force? First of all, took the weight of the substance in the air, that is 1 Newton, and minus that weight of the stone in air with the weight of the stone in water. Okay, and weight of the stone in water is 0.5 Newton and our answer is 0.5 Newton. So here the bouncing force that acting on the object is bouncing force is 0.5 Newton. Okay, and we have another measurement here, that is took the weight of the overflowing water in the second beaker. Okay, this amount of water. Now measuring the amount of water in this beaker, we have to use also the spring balance. Okay, and we got the answer. This is weight of the fluid or water in second beaker is equal to 0.5 Newton. We know we don't have a spring balance, that's why we have to assume these answers. Okay, and the weight of the fluid in the second beaker is 0.5 Newton. So we can see that the bouncing force that acting on this object and the weight of the fluid that is displaced from the first beaker to the second beaker is the same. Okay, these two are 0.5 Newton. So we have to conclude that when we put in or immerse a stone or any other object into one beaker that containing full of water, there is a displacement of water is occur when the time of dipping. So we have to conclude that the displaced fluid in the first beaker to the second beaker and the bouncing force that acting on that object is same. Okay, that two are equal. Here the bouncing force is 0.5 and the the amount of displaced water is 0.5. So these two answers are same, that is equal. That is the bouncing force that acting on an object which is equal to the displaced water, the amount of displaced water. Okay, these two are equal. The displaced water level or water measurement and the acting bouncing force of an object is equal, and this gives another definition that is we have to call, that is the Archimedes principle. Okay, and what is Archimedes principle? Archimedes principle saying that when an object is immersed in a beaker of water, there is a displacement of water is occur. That is because of the overflowing and because of the buoyant force that is acting on it. And this displaced water and this displaced water and the acting buoyant force, these two are equal, and this is saying Archimedes principle. Okay. Archimedes principle saying that when an object is immersed partially or completely into a beaker or fluid, the buoyancy experienced by it will be equal to the weight of the fluid displaced from it. Okay, this is Archimedes principle. And we have a small experiment, that is when we take a beaker that containing water, and first of all we have to put a small paper. This is not a paper, this is a foil paper, and put this paper into this beaker of water. When we put into this beaker, we can see that this foil paper is not immersed in the water. This is only floating in the surface of water. Can you see that? This is only floating here. This is only floating here. This is not come inside of the water. Okay. When we are applying a force, it is only coming inside. When we have not applying a force, this is only floating here. And in the next case, we have to folding this paper and make it a small piece. And we put it this into the beaker. It come inside. Can you see that it come inside? Okay, that is, I will show you another one. When we using a small piece of paper, when we taking a small piece of paper that is only floating in the and we using a small folded same measured or same sized but this is folding in small piece. Okay, and this put into this beaker of water, it comes to inside, not floating here. That is based on the volume. When the volume of the substance is come to small, the acting buoyancy force is come to small. When the volume of the some substance is high, the acting buoyancy force also is high. That is, first time we have to put a piece of foil paper to this. That time the piece of foil paper is only floating on the top of the water surface, only floating here. And in the next case, that same sized foil paper is folded and that put into the same beaker with same level of water, it comes to inside. The small piece of foil paper comes to the inside of the water, or it is fully immersed into the water. That is based on the buoyancy force that acting on it. Okay, in the first case it's only floating, and in the next case it is fully immersed into the beaker or the fluid. From here we used as a floating. The first case, the foil paper is floating, and in the second case it is come to or immersed in the beaker, in the beaker that containing water. And from here we have to concluding another principle, that is flotation principle. Flotation principle is always telling that the amount of substance, the amount of that substance immersed, displaced, the amount of water or fluid that is displaced from an bottle that containing or beaker that containing fluid, that displaced fluid is equal to the amount of substance, the amount of buoyancy force that acting on it, that is the weight of the floating body is equal to the weight of the fluid dispersed by it. Here the weight of the floating body is equal to the weight of the substance that is the weight of the substance that is displaced from here. That is, in another case we have to use a wooden block in this beaker. Now we have to use a small foil paper. In the next case we have to use a small piece of wooden piece. When the wooden piece is immersing here, a small amount of water is displaced from here through the small slit inside, and the amount of water that is come to the next beaker, the displaced water is equal to the weight of the wooden block that is immersed in it. When we took the weight of the wooden block that is immersed in there and the weight of the substance that is displaced when here, then in these two cases the two are equal. Both in this case the weight of the wooden block that is immersed and the weight of the displaced fluid, these two are equal. So the weight of the substance that is immersed in a fluid is equal to the amount of water or fluid that is displaced from it. This is saying as the flotation principle or principle of flotation. Principle of flotation. The first one is Archimedes principle and the second one is principle of flotation. These two are basing the buoyancy force, and the buoyancy force is acting on the object that is immersed in partially or fully into a fluid, that is depend on the volume of the substance, the density of the substance, and based on this we have two principles. First one is Archimedes principle and the second one is flotation principle. When the volume of the substance is large, that object is only floating on the surface of water that taking in a beaker, and that is known as the flotation principle. And the Archimedes principle says that the amount of displaced fluid from a beaker is equal to the weight of the substance that is fully or partially immersed in that fluid, that same fluid. Okay, and today we have to discuss about only these two principles. First one is Archimedes principle and the second one is flotation principle. And based on this we have a video. There is some errors, so this video is passing through your WhatsApp group, and when we seeing that you have to understand for more about the Archimedes principle and flotation principle. Okay, and we have so many works based on this, based on the Archimedes principle and flotation principle. So all of you do must this and I give it through your WhatsApp. Okay. Thank you all. Have a nice day.